I slammed on the brakes just in time, the tires screeching like a banshee on that crisp October afternoon in suburban Chicago. My 8-year-old son, Tommy, was in the back seat, humming along to some kid's playlist about superheroes, oblivious to the silver BMW that had just swerved into our lane like it owned the damn road. But it wasn't the near miss that made my blood boil. It was the woman who stepped out of that luxury tank, her designer heels clicking like Judgment Day on the asphalt of the community park lot. She was the epitome of every viral video nightmare. Mid-40s, blonde bob haircut sharp as a guillotine, yoga pants stretched over a frame that screamed, "I pay for this body," and a face twisted in that perpetual scowl of entitlement. Karen, not her real name, but by God, it fit like a glove. "Excuse me," she barked, marching straight for my truck, her Louis Vuitton purse swinging like a weapon. Tommy peeked out the window, his little face lighting up at the sight of the park's swing set just beyond. He didn't see the monster approaching. He just saw freedom after a long week of school. Me? I saw a storm cloud with lipstick. I rolled down the window, forcing a smile because that's what you do in America. You de-escalate before you detonate. "Ma'am, everything okay? You cut me off back there." Her eyes narrowed to slits, scanning my beat-up Ford F-150 like it was a roach on her kitchen counter. "Okay, you were tailgating me, you redneck idiot. This is a family park, not a demolition derby." Redneck? I'd saved her ass, figuratively speaking, from a pile-up, but sure, let's rewrite history. I bit my tongue, glancing at Tommy, who was now unbuckling his booster seat, his scarred arm catching the sunlight. Those marks from the house fire 2 years ago, the one that took his mom and left me a single dad juggling shifts at Station 12. They're badges of survival, but to the world, they're just freak show fodder. Before I could respond, Tommy hopped out, backpack slung over one shoulder, and beamed up at her. "Hi, are you here, Play 2? The slides are super fast today. Innocent as a lamb, my boy." But Karen's gaze dropped to his arm like a hawk spotting prey. The scars, jagged pink lines snaking from elbow to wrist, weren't hidden under his long-sleeve tee. He'd rolled it up because it was 70 degrees, fall flirting with summer. Her lip curled, and I swear time slowed. "What the hell is that? Oh my God, is that contagious? Keep that thing away from me." Contagious. The word hit like a sucker punch. Tommy froze, his smile crumbling like dry leaves underfoot. I was out of the truck in a heartbeat, my 6'3" frame towering over her 5'4" Fury, but I kept my voice steady. Firefighter training, you learn to command without roaring. "Ma'am, those are burn scars. From fire. He's a kid. Back off." She didn't back off. Oh no, this was her stage now, and the park was her audience. A few joggers slowed, phones already slipping from pockets. "Burn scars? Well, he looks like a monster. Why would you bring that here? This is a public space. Families come here to relax, not to be scared half to death by some Freddy Krueger reject." Her voice ratcheted up, shrill enough to pierce eardrums, drawing stares from soccer moms and dog walkers alike. Tommy's eyes welled up, his small hand clutching mine like a lifeline. "Dad, am I a monster?" No, hell no. But she was. A monster in pearls and privilege. I knelt down, whispering to him, "You're my hero, buddy. Remember? You crawled out first, save a cat." He nodded, sniffling, but the damage was done. Karen wasn't finished. She was just warming up. "I'm calling the cops. This is child endangerment or something. You can't just parade deformities around like it's normal. My kids are over there, pure-blood Americans, not whatever lab experiment this is." Pure blood? In 2025 Chicago? I laughed, a bitter, disbelieving bark that echoed off the minivans. That's when I remember the Dashcam. Mounted on my windshield, courtesy of the department's safety protocols, it had captured the whole swerve, the confrontation, every toxic syllable. But she didn't know that. Yet. "Lady, you're the one endangering kids with your mouth. Walk away." She didn't. Instead, she whipped out her phone, live-streaming to her 3,000 Instagram followers. Turns out she was CEO of some boutique wellness brand. Empower Her Essentials, peddling overpriced kale smoothies to housewives with too much time. "Everyone look at this." Some hillbilly just threatened me in a park because his freak kid scared my daughter. Karen alert? No, this is mom warriors standing up for real families. The comments flooded in real time on her screen. Get him, queen. Those scars are gross. Ban them from parks. Call CPS. My stomach churned. Tommy tugged at my jeans. Dad, let's go home. I don't want to play anymore. But I couldn't let her win. Not like this. Not when she just weaponized my son's pain for likes and clout. I pulled out my own phone, thumb hovering over record, but the dash cam was gold. Unseen, unflinching. You want cops? Fine. But when they roll up, they'll see the truth. Her laugh was a hyena's cackle. Truth? You're the one with the mutant arm candy. I'm untouchable, board seats, connections. You'll be scrubbing toilets by sundown. Untouchable. Famous last words. As the first sirens wailed in the distance. Not for us, but some false alarm across town. I scooped Tommy up, his weight a warm anchor against the rage boiling in my veins. This wasn't over. This was just the spark. And me? I'm a firefighter. I know all about turning flames into infernos. The park buzzed now, a full-on spectacle. Karen's live feed hit 10,000 views, hashtags exploding like fireworks. Park Karen versus Freak Kid, entitled Dad Threatens EO. She preened under the attention, flipping her hair for the camera, oblivious to the growing knot of locals murmuring. One dad, a burly guy in a Bears hoodie, stepped forward. Hey, ease up. Kid's just a kid. Karen wheeled on him. Mind your business, or you're next. I buckled Tommy into the truck, his face buried in his hands, silent sobs shaking his shoulders. It's okay, champ. She's just having a bad day. Lies. She was having the best day of her miserable life, turning our pain into her pedestal. As I slid into the driver's seat, I hit the Dashcam app on my phone. Crystal clear footage, audio crisp as a confession. Her slurs, her threats, all time-stamped. Evidence. But revenge? That's not my style. Or so I told myself. Driving home through the golden hour traffic, Wrigley Field's shadow stretching long across Lakeshore Drive, I replayed it in my head. Tommy stared out the window, tracing the scars on his arm with a finger. Dad? Why does she hate me? Hate. At 8 years old, he'd learned that word in the schoolyard, but this was visceral, adult-grade venom. Because some people are cowards, buddy. They see strength in others, and it scares them. Strength. Tommy had more in his pinky than that which had in her entire empire. The fire that scarred him? He'd shielded his mom till the last second, screaming for help till his voice gave out. She didn't make it. I did, pulling him from the wreckage, lungs burning from smoke. That night replayed in flashes. Sirens, hoses, the acrid stench of melted plastic. And now this, some Botox harpy reducing it to gross. By the time we hit our ranch-style house in Lincoln Park, the internet was ablaze. My phone buzzed nonstop, texts from buddies at the station, alert from news apps. Dude, you're viral, for all the wrong reasons. I ignored them, focusing on grilled cheese and tomato soup, Tommy's favorite comfort food. He picked at it, eyes distant. Can we watch the superhero movie? The one where the guy has scars, but saves the world. We did. Halfway through, my partner at the station, Mike, called, Jack, what the hell? That video's everywhere. But get this, the tide's turning. People are digging into her. CEO Karen? Real name's Victoria Langford. Her company's under fire for some shady labor stuff. I grunted, not ready to dive in. But as Tommy drifted off on the couch, cape from his costume draped over him like a shield, I couldn't shake it. That dashcam, it wasn't just proof. It was a loaded gun. And in America, where justice is as much social media as its courts, I had the ammo. Night fell heavy, the city lights twinkling like distant campfires. I uploaded the dashcam clip to a throwaway TikTok account. Unlisted at first, just to test the waters. Caption, when a CEO calls my burn survivor son a monster in a park. Dashcam doesn't lie. Justice for Tommy in the hate. Within minutes, shares skyrocketed. Comments poured in, that which deserves prison. Sue her ass. Firefighter, Dad, FTW. Victoria, Karen, must have seen it. Her live ended abruptly, a follow-up story posted. Misunderstanding. Praying for that poor child. Empathy wins. Crocodile tears. Too late. The algorithm had spoken. By midnight, local news picked it up. Chicago CEO's park meltdown goes viral. I should have stopped there. Logged off, hugged my kid, let karma do its thing. But as I watched Tommy sleep, his scarred arm flung out in trust, something snapped. Betrayal? Not quite. But she'd violated the code, the unspoken rule that kids are off-limits. And for a man who's stared down infernos, that's a line you don't cross without paying. Morning came with frost on the pumpkins lining our stoop. Tommy bounced back, as kids do, demanding pancakes shaped like fire trucks. I obliged, flipping them with a spatula while scrolling updates. Victoria's brand was tanking, boycotts, lost sponsors. Her board issued a statement. Ms. Langford is on leave pending investigation. Leave? That's code for we're throwing you under the bus. But she fought dirty. A countersuit loomed in my inbox, some lawyer's email threatening defamation. Cease and desist, or face ruin. Ruin. From the guy driving a department truck and coaching Little League? I laughed, forwarding it to my union rep. Firefighters don't scare easy. That afternoon, I dropped Tommy at school and headed to the station. The crew razzied me. Jack's the new internet vigilante. Mike slapped my back. Heard she's got a gala tonight. Big donor thing for some charity. You going? A gala. In her world of champagne flutes and backroom deals. Temptation whispered. I could crash it dashcam in hand, turn her spotlight into a bonfire. But no, that's her game. Mine? Precision. I spent the shift polishing trucks, mind racing. By evening, as I picked up Tommy from soccer practice, a plan crystallized. Not revenge. Justice. The kind that burns slow and leaves scars. We drove past the park that night, the swings creaking empty under street lamps. Tommy pointed. Look, Dad, no monsters. I smiled, but inside the embers glowed. Victoria Langford had lit the match. Now it was my turn to fan the flames. The gala was at the Palmer House Hilton, that gilded relic downtown where old money mingles with new egos under crystal chandeliers that cost more than my annual salary. I'd suited up, not my dress blues, but a crisp button-down from the back of the closet, the one I wore to Sarah's funeral. Felt fitting, like armor forged in grief. Tommy was with my sister, safe in Evanston, munching popcorn and oblivious to the storm I was about to stir. Be a hero, Dad, he'd said, hugging my leg. Hero. Yeah, time to live up to it. Parking was a nightmare. Valets and tuxes eyeing my F-150 like it was a Uber Eats run. I flashed my Firefighter ID, got a nod, and slipped in through a side door, the kind staff use. The lobby hummed with laughter, clinking glasses, the scent of money and Chanel No. 5 thick as fog. Charity gala for burn victims. Ironically, some foundation Victoria's company sponsored, back when she posed as a saint for PR points. Now, the whispers follow me like smoke trails. That's him, the dad from the video. Heads turned, phones lifted. I kept walking, dashcam, USB in my pocket like a talisman. The ballroom was a sea of black ties and sequins, centerpieces of white lilies mocking the scars they claimed to honor. There she was on a dais with a mic, mid-speech, her blonde bob gleaming under the lights. As we gather tonight, let's remember the invisible scars we all carry, the ones from life's fires. Invisible? Tell that to Tommy's arm. The crowd ate it up, applause rippling. But I saw the cracks, her eyes darting, smile brittle as burnt toast. I didn't interrupt. Not yet. Instead, I found the AV guy in the back, a kid in a headset nursing a Red Bull. Hey, brother, you see that viral clip? The park one. He nodded, eyes wide. Dude, brutal. You him. I pulled the USB. Got the full footage. Want to loop it on the Jumbotron during her Q&A? For the cause. He hesitated, then grinned. Screw it. Burn victims deserve the truth. We synced it up. Time to perfection. As Victoria wrapped her hypocrisy, fielding softballs from sycophants. Victoria, your leadership inspires. The screen flickered. Not ads for her smoothies. My dashcam feed. Her BMW swerve. Her slurs exploding in high def. Monster. Contagious. Pure blood. Gasps rippled through the room like a wave. Her face drained of color, mic trembling in her hand. What? "Turn that off," she shrieked, but the AV kid had locked the controls. The clip looped, her venom echoing off the vaulted ceilings. Phones whipped out, live-streaming the chaos. Donors bolted for exits, skirts swishing like fleeing rats. A silver-haired exec in the front row stood, voice booming, "Victoria, this is despicable. We're pulling funding, effective immediately." She spun, spotting me in the shadows. This is sabotage. Security. But security? Half were off-duty cops who'd seen the original video, nodding my way instead. One even muttered, "Good work, Chief." I stepped forward, not yelling, just calm, the way you talk down a jumper from a ledge. "Victoria, you built your brand on empowerment. But bullying a kid? That's the real fire hazard." The room fractured. Women who'd clapped for her now hissed. Men who'd networked now networked their escapes. Her husband, some hedge fund drone, tugged her arm, whispering furious nothings. She yanked free, lunging at me with manicured claws. "You'll pay for this. I know judges, senators. Your job, your kid gone." Threats. Always threats. But the clip had gone nuclear. Gala takedown, trending nationwide by dessert course. I slipped out as sirens wailed. Real ones this time, for the stampede of egos. Back home, Tommy asleep under his Iron Man blanket. I cracked a beer on the porch, city skyline pulsing like a heartbeat. My phone lit up. Interview request from CNN, Good Morning America. Hero dad exposes CEO bully. Hero. Still didn't fit. But justice? That tasted like victory. Or so I thought. Dawn brought the backlash. Victoria's PR machine kicked in. Press releases painting her as the victim, me as the aggressor. Stalker Firefighter Harris's grieving mother at charity event. Grieving? Her kid was fine, probably at some elite sleepaway camp. Forums lit up with trolls. Firefighters are just glorified janitors. The kid's scars? Probably from meth lab explosion, trailer trash. Tommy failed it at school. A note from the principal. Some parents concerned about. Appearances. Code for your kid's distraction. I pulled him early, his backpack sagging with uneaten lunch. They said I'm cursed, Dad. Like a witch. Cursed. At 8. I hugged him fierce, promising ice cream and arcade games, but inside, fury rebuilt. This wasn't just her anymore. It was the echo chamber she'd unleashed. The America where one loudmouth turns pain into spectacle. Station shift that night was tense. Captain pulled me aside. "Jack, brass is nervous. Department's getting heat. Why's our guy playing vigilante?" I nodded, swallowing pride. "It was for Tommy, Cap." He clapped my shoulder. "We know, but tread light. She's got lawyers circling like vultures." Lawyers. Plural. By week's end, the lawsuit dropped. Defamation, emotional distress, the works. 50 million demanded. 50 million? I made 70 grand a year, most going to Tommy's therapy and braces. My union lawyer laughed it off, frivolous as hell, but the stress gnawed. Sleepless nights, replaying her face, that smug twist when she called him monster. Then the call came. Anonymous tip line, voice distorted. "Langford's dirty, man. Check her company's books, offshore accounts, fake charities." Whistleblower? Or trap? I dug anyway. Late nights on my laptop, cross-referencing public records with a beer chaser. Turns out, Empower Her Essentials funnel donations to shell companies, her personal piggy bank. That burned victim gala? Half the proceeds vanished into her Cayman accounts. Irony burned hotter than any fire. I leaked it to a blogger buddy at the Tribune. Anonymous, of course. Next morning, headlines screamed, "CEO's charity scam exposed amid bullying scandal." Her stock plummeted. Board ousted her in emergency vote. But Victoria? She doubled down, going full martyr on Fox News. This is cancel culture run amok. A single mistake and poof, gone. That firefighter? He's the real bully, using his badge for revenge. Revenge. The word stung because it fit too close. Was I? Tommy's nightmares said yes, waking up screaming about monsters in the dark. Therapy bills stacked, my shifts doubled to cover. Friends distanced. Too hot, Jack. Even Mike, lay low, bro. But laying low wasn't in my DNA. The park incident had a court date. Her assault charge. Yeah, she swung at me. My countersuit for defamation. Pre-trial buzzed like a hive. I prepped with the union attorney, Dashcam as star witness. Then, twist, her daughter testified. 12 years old, teary-eyed on Zoom deposition. Mommy didn't mean it. The scary boy grabbed her first. Grab her? Tommy? Lies, pure poison. The girl was coached, eyes flicking off-screen to Mommy's nod. My lawyer pounced. Ms. Langford, is her daughter aware of the video evidence? Silence. Then tears from Victoria. This is destroying my family. Destroying. Like she destroyed ours in 60 seconds flat. Court adjourned, but the real trial was public. Petitions circulated. Free Victoria, lock up the liar. Lines drawn, America picking sides in comment sections. I avoided it, focusing on Tommy, building forts in the living room, teaching him to fish at Lake Michigan, scars be damned. Winter crept in, first snow dusting the fire escape. Holiday lights twinkled, mocking the chill in my gut. Victoria's empire crumbled, bankruptcy filed, mansion foreclosed. She moved to a condo in the suburbs, irony's kiss. But she wasn't done. A package arrived, unmarked, heavy. Inside, stacks of photos, Tommy at school, me at the station. Stalker shots, time-stamped. Note, back off or he pays. Threats escalated. Police report filed, but no prints, no leads. Paranoia set in, checking locks twice, Dashcam on every drive. Tommy sensed it. Dad, are the monsters coming? I lied. Nah, buddy. Heroes win. Then the break. My tipster called again. She's cracking. Check her emails. Hacked them. Illegal? Sure. But a folder dropped. Confessions to a therapist. I lost control. The boy's face reminded me of my miscarriage. I snapped. Miscarriage. Hidden grief, twisted into rage. Human? Yeah. But excuse? Fait no. I sat on it, moral compass spinning. Expose her vulnerability, become the monster? Or let justice blindside? Christmas Eve, station potluck. I confided in Cap. What if she's broken too? He shrugged. Broken people break things, Jack. Doesn't absolve. New Year dawned gray. Trial loomed. I armored up, metaphorically. Tommy drew me a picture. Me with a hose, blasting a dragon labeled Mean Lady. For luck, Dad. Luck. We need it. The courtroom in the Daily Center smelled like polished wood and desperation. Sunlight slanting through tall windows like spotlights on a stage gone wrong. January 15th, 2026. Colder than a witch's heart outside. But inside, the air crackled with anticipation. Victoria sat across the aisle, a ghost of her former self. No bob, just limp strands. No yoga glow, just pallor from too many nights scrolling hate mail. Her lawyer, a slick weasel in pinstripes, shot me glares like daggers. Mean it? A no-nonsense public defender with a ponytail and a prosecutor's fire. Pro bono, because unions have each other's backs. Tommy wasn't there, too young, thank God. But his absence hung heavy, a scar on the proceedings. Judge Harlan, a grizzled vet with a mustache like a broom bristle, banged the gavel. Order. Ms. Langford, you stand accused of misdemeanor assault and disorderly conduct. Mr. Harlan, countersuit for defamation and intentional infliction of distress. Harlan, my last name, yeah. Family tradition, firefighters back to the Great Chicago Fire. Prosecution open strong, dashcam rolling, her voice booming from speakers. Monster. Contagious. Jurors winced, one mom type dabbing eyes. Victoria's team countered, a heated moment, Your Honor. No physical contact. Words aren't weapons. But words are, in this country. Ask any kid cyber-bullied into silence. My turn. On the stand, sweat beading under my collar, I kept it simple. She terrified my son. Called him a freak for surviving a fire that killed his mother. That's not a moment. That's malice. Cross-exam. Mr. Harlan, isn't it true you ambushed her at the gala? Stalled her for revenge. I locked eyes with the weasel. Revenge? I saved lives for 12 years. This was protection. Victoria testified next. Makeup caked thick, voice quavering for effect. I was stressed, company pressures, personal losses. Losses. The miscarriage leak hovered unspoken, a ghost in the room. Her lawyer danced around. A lapse in judgment born of empathy overload. Empathy? The jury snorted audibly. Then the bombshell. My lawyer called her daughter as a hostile witness. Brilliant move. The girl fidgeted, 12 going on 30, designer dress rumpled. Did your mother tell you what to say about grabbing? Silence. Then, whisper. She said it'd help. But the boy didn't grab. He just cried. Gasps. Victoria's face crumpled, a dam breaking. Her husband, ex now, papers filed, testified next. She's always been intense. But this? Unforgivable. The tide turned. Deliberation lasted 2 hours, record fast. Verdict, guilty on all counts. Fines, community service, restraining order. No jail, misdemeanor mercy. But her empire? Collateral damage. As cuffs clicked for processing, formality, but symbolic, she lunged across the bar, not at me, but the air. You ruined me. For what, an ugly kid? Ugly. Final nail. Bailiff hauled her out, screams echoing down the hall. Outside, press swarmed, flashes blinding, mics thrusting. Mr. Harlan, thoughts on justice? I paused, Tommy's drawing in my pocket like a talisman. Justice isn't revenge. It's teaching that words burn deeper than fire. Viral again, courtroom takedown, clips remixed with dramatic music. Victoria's brand dissolved, assets seized for restitution. She vanished into therapy, mandated, ironic. Whispers said she sold the condo, moved to Florida with her folks. Bitter end. From CEO to cautionary tale, her LinkedIn a tombstone of deleted posts. But victory? Tasted like ash. Tommy's school buzzed. Kids kinder now, inspired by his bravery. Yet nightmares lingered, therapy stretched. Me? Promotion to lieutenant, speaking gigs at burn camps. Scars tell stories. I'd say, don't let him silence you. Spring bloomed, Lake Michigan thawing under April sun. We picnicked at the park. No BMWs in sight. Tommy swung high, laughter-free. Dad, am I a hero yet? Always were, kid. Or so the story ends. But scars don't fade, they evolve. Wait, that's the sanitized version. Truth? The bitter twist came months later. Summer heat wave gripping the city like a fist. Station call spiked. Arson rumors, nothing panning out. Then, one night, dispatch crackled. Structure fire, Lincoln Park address. Possible accelerant. My address. Heart seized as I roared out, sirens whooping. Flames licked the roof when I arrived, neighbors hosing futilely. Inside, Tommy safe at a sleepover. Me, racing upstairs through smoke, instinct overriding protocol. Photos, his drawings, salvaged in a blur. Arson confirmed. Gasoline trails, sloppy but deliberate. Cops swarmed. Enemies, Harlan. One. Her. But proof? Elusive. Victoria's prints nowhere. Alibi ironclad. Therapy session in Miami. Yet her email hacks surfaced in investigation. If he takes everything, I'll take his world. Threat log, but prosecutors balked. Circumstantial. She walked. Again. Bitter pill. Justice half served. Her shadows lingering. Tommy rebuilt his room with superhero posters, resilient as ever. Me? I installed cameras, not dash cams but sentinels. Watched the skyline at night, wondering if monsters ever truly die. America's rhythm pulsed on. Barbecues, ball games, viral outrages fading to footnotes. Victoria resurfaced on podcasts. My redemption arc, voice honeyed with hindsight. I was the Karen, blind to privilege. Now I advocate. Advocate. For who? Burn survivors? Or her comeback? Listeners lapped it up, forgiveness fatigue setting in. My clip? Buried in archives, a relic. Tommy asked once, will she say sorry? I hoped, but hope's a flicker in wind. We thrived anyway. Father-son camping in Wisconsin, roasting marshmallows over legal fires. Scars bare to stars, stories swapped. Dad, what if the monster comes back? Then we fight, buddy. Together. But deep down, the ember glows. Not rage, resolve. Because in this land of second chances, some debts demand collection. And I'm still a firefighter. Fires don't extinguish themselves. Fall returned, leaves carpeting the park like confetti from a parade no one attended. Tommy, now 9, raced ahead on his bike, training wheels long gone, scars tan from summer swims. I trailed on foot, thermos of coffee steaming in the chill, eyes scanning for silver sedans. Paranoia? Maybe. But after the fire, trust was a luxury I couldn't afford. Life normalized, if you call keynote speeches at diversity conferences normal. From flames to fortitude, my TEDx talk went semi-viral. Irony's gift. Invites poured in. Schools, corporate trainings on toxic entitlement. I obliged, voice steady, message clear. Karens aren't born, they're enabled. Call them out before they scar souls. Victoria? Her Redemption podcast hit number 7 on Spotify. Guest fawning, such growth, Vic. Growth. From bully to brand ambassador for some crisis management firm. Coaching other CEOs on damage control. She even donated to burn foundations, publicly with photo ops. No mention of Tommy. No apology. Then, the letter arrived. Handwritten, postmarked Orlando. Dear Jack, words fail where action scarred. I was lost in my own fire, grief, ambition, the void of who I thought I was. Your son? A mirror I shattered. I'm sorry. Truly. Enclosed. Restitution check. Full amount from the suit. Use it for him. V. Check cleared. 50 grand. Life-changing. Therapy, college fund, a family trip to Yellowstone. Forgiveness? I'm molded over burgers at Gold Coast Dogs, Tommy ketchup smeared and grinning. What if she's changed, Dad? Kids, pure logic. I nodded. Maybe. World's big enough for second starts. Mailed a reply. Apology accepted. Build better. Closure? Close enough. But America loves a sequel. Winter Holidays, a Netflix doc pitched. The Karen Chronicles, Entitlements Fall. Producers called. Your story's the hook. Raw real. I declined. Tommy's life wasn't content. He deserved swings without spotlights. Spring thaw brought green shoots, metaphor for whatever. Tommy's birthday bash, piñata, cake, friends piling in. Laughter drowned old echoes. Then, doorbell, uninvited guest. Her, Victoria, subdued in jeans and ponytail, no armor. I hope to see him. In person. Tension spiked, neighbors peeking, my hand twitching for the phone. But Tommy spotted her through the window, waved shyly. The mean lady? I nodded. Let him decide. He tugged my sleeve. Can she have cake? Heroes share. She did. Awkward slices on the porch, small talk skirting craters. Therapy's hard, she admitted. Seeing my ugly. Ugly. Her word, reclaimed. Tommy showed his arm. Mine's cool now. See? Superpower. She teared up, tracing air above it. Stronger than mine. She left with a hug. For him, tentative. For me? Nod of respect. No friendship, boundaries firm. But the monster? Slain or sleeping. Years blurred. Tommy teenaged, quarterback with a scholarship, scars, just stories at parties. Me? Battalion chief, badge polished, house rebuilt fireproof. Victoria? Faded to footnotes, another podcaster in the noise. Her company? Revived as Real Talk Wellness, ironically thriving on authenticity. Bitter end? Nah, bittersweet. She'd lost the throne, gained humility. I lost naivety, gained grit. America, churn on. New Karens crowning weekly, Dashcams rolling eternal. One park visit, Tommy, man now, pushes kid on swings. Remember that story, Dad? The one with the dragon? Yeah, dragons die, but lessons linger. And in the rear view? Not revenge. Redemption. For all of us. Epilogue whispers. In quiet moments, I wonder, what if I'd let it go that first day? No video, no war. But then no growth. Scars remind. Pain forges doesn't define. Tommy calls from college. Love you, old man. You're my hero. Echoes back. You're mine. Fade to credits. Roll the tape.